folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you again from DEADPIT Radio. Today we have a really interesting one to look at. We're going to take you guys back there, if only for a day. It's the early 1980s. Stephen King was just becoming uber popular. A lot of his film adaptations were hitting the theaters. You had Carrie, you had The Shining, you had The Dead Zone, Christine, right? And, of course, in 1984, Firestarter. Now, this movie, I don't think was a gigantic financial success, but it definitely developed a cult following over the years. This cover lit up video rental stores in the 80s and 90s. This one released recently from ViaVision over in Australia in a 2-pack, a collection, if you will, the Firestarter collection. So when I first heard about, the Firestarter collection, I assumed that it was going to be the Firestarter remake from a couple of years ago. But no, they included the 2002 sci-fi miniseries Firestarter 2 Rekindled, which I was not familiar with at all. If I ever saw anything on it back in the day, I completely forgot about it. So it's a pretty obscure bonus movie to include in this beautiful lenticular edition. Look at that, man. Firestarter collection there. Look at how nice that packaging is, man. I love the lenticulars. So anyway, limited edition lenticular set from ViaVision. We're going to take a look at the movies within this set. We're going to look at some of the bonus materials, baby. And I'm going to answer all of your questions on whether or not this set really lights my fire. Firestarter, directed by Mark Lester from 1984. Based on the Stephen King novel, the movie follows Charlie and Andrew McGee, played respectively by Drew Barrymore and David Keith, a father and daughter tandem who is now being chased by these suited government agents. We find out that Charlie has the uncanny ability of pyrokinetics, in which she can set things on fire with her mind. A fire starter, if you will. Years earlier, Andrew, along with Charlie's mother, Vicky, played by Heather Locklear in her debut movie, met in college and wanted to earn some extra money. They signed up as guinea pigs for this medical experiment involving telekinesis. And now a few years down the line, her mother, Vicky, has passed away. Charlie and her dad are on the run while trying to control her pyrokinetic rage. There's a secret government agency known as the Shop, which is headed by Martin Sheen. They're wanting to capture Charlie, and there you go. In Firestarter 2, Rekindled from 2002, TV miniseries debuted on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's a 2-parter. Nearly a 3-hour movie set 10 years after the events of the first film. Rekindled kind of rewrites and remakes the first film as well by way of flashbacks. They definitely take some liberties with the source material as well. Charlie McGee is, of course, recast because this was like a sci-fi original movie in 2002. The movie co-stars Malcolm McDowell and Dennis Hopper. A lot of the movie doesn't really make much sense. You can tell it was kind of a lower budget sci-fi original movie. There's another secret government group in it led by Malcolm McDowell. This one, oddly enough, was directed by Robert Ice Cove, who directed From Justin to Kelly, the American Idol movie, and She's All That. No, I'm not kidding. He did Rekindled. That is it for the movies, guys. Try to quickly go through these without giving too many details away if you guys haven't seen the movies. The first movie I recommend, just slightly. It's got some cool stuff to it. I think the score from Tangerine Dream is pretty amazing, which, to my understanding, they just did the music and didn't watch the movie or anything. But it works perfect for the movie. Mark Lester, who a couple of years later had a huge hit in Commando, oddly enough. You know, you wouldn't think that, but very well made movie. Now, I did hear too that John Carpenter was originally signed on to direct this movie and made some pretty huge changes. It's a different script and everything. But with all the issues with John Carpenter's The Thing, which lost the studio a ton of money, this is, of course, Universal Studios, they don't play around. So they yanked Carpenter from this, and I can only imagine what the Carpenter version would have looked like in 1984. But this feels still to me like a John Carpenter movie almost. It's very weird. Now, I know the script of the movie is not his. His script was vastly different than the source material from what I had heard. But it does feel a little like a Carpenter movie. I don't really know why that is. I can't explain it to you, but it's not the best movie. There's a lull in the middle of the movie. And the pacing in it's a little off. But man, there is some cool stuff in this. There's a great cast in this movie as well. George C. Scott is pretty amazing in his performance. Art Carney is in this. Louise Fletcher as well. David Keith. I had heard that like they had auditioned like 14 or 15 people that they had picked before him. And I mean, he's okay. I had no problem with David Keith, but he didn't really have that many other mainstream, like, starring roles that I can think of. But yeah, this was David Keith, not Keith David. Do not be confused. Now, with Firestarter 2 Rekindled, to me, this is a cool extra, right? If you're a fan of the original Firestarter movie, it's a curiosity piece to check it out. Now, from my understanding, Firestarter 2 Rekindled has never made it to Blu-ray up until now. So this is the Blu-ray debut of Firestarter 2 Rekindled from 2002. So there's that. Now, as far as extra materials in this, now Firestarter 2 has nothing at all. It's just the, it's the two-part mini-series. Now, there is a plethora of bonus materials in the first film. We're going to take a look at those right now. Included is an audio commentary by film critic and historian Lee Gambin and novelist historian Aaron Drives. Another separate audio commentary by the director Mark L. Lester. Playing with Fire, the making of Firestarter documentary. Tangerine Dream, movie music memories with Johannes Schmoling featurette. Johannes Schmoling of Tangerine Dream plays Charlie's theme, a live performance, theatrical trailer, radio spots, and all that good stuff. Now, you do get this lenticular package here with some art cards. Everybody loves art cards. And Art Carney is in this movie. I don't think he has an art card, but how cool would that be if Art Carney had an art card in this set? I don't think so, but we'll double check. So we'll look at the art cards here in a second. You take the inside case out, and you've got pretty much very similar artwork there in the Blu-ray case. This is a Blu-ray. This is region free, so you don't have to worry about having a region free Blu-ray player to play this. This is all region or whatever. ViaVision does a funny thing. Like all of their movies have region B on them, but it's region free. All of their shit plays anywhere, so I don't know if that's a legal thing, but it is region free. So anyway, yeah, similar artwork there. You have both discs and some inside art there as well. And also to let you guys know, this is numbered edition. I have 1082 out of 1750. Look how it's numbered there. Not too many people do that. And here are the art cards, Firestarter collection. This is Charlie from the Rekindled show. There is young Charlie Drew Barrymore, which this was her follow-up to E.T., oddly enough. So it's a pretty big deal. Another shot from the Rekindled TV movie. Martin Sheen and George C. Scott from the original movie. There's another shot from Rekindled. There's Dennis Hopper right there. And David Keith Drew Barrymore from the original film. Alright guys, so that is it for the review. The movie itself, Firestarter, I like it. I don't love it. It's got some cool stuff in it. It's a cool rewatch every once in a while. If you are a fan of this movie though, this is the best version to get of Firestarter. Great collector's piece here with the lenticular cover and the art cards and everything. Nice hard box. And I love the spines on the ViaVision stuff. So yeah guys, the Firestarter collection, it is out now from ViaVision over in Australia. Region free, by the way. Check it out. Be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com.
Give us a thumbs up.
Up you butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. Click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last Out on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't never gonna change. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change. So shut your mouth and play along.